Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana. Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana. Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande. So we're going to continue where we left off yesterday. We were speaking about pure devotional service.
我们继续接着昨天没有讲完的地方讲，我们讨论的是纯粹的奉献服务。
Right? We may want to try to understand if we are pure devotees or not.
我们想努力的去明白我们是否是纯粹的奉献者。
Of course, we're all devotees,
当然了，我们全都是奉献者。
but how pure we are, we don't know how pure we are.
但是我们有多纯粹呢？我们并不知道我们到底有多纯粹。
So we have to understand how pure we are on the basis of these different factors.
所以我们要建立在这些因素的基础上来判断一下我们到底有多纯粹。
First of all, that we do service,
首先，我们要做服务。
right? Sometimes we will be asked, what service do you do?
有时候我们会问你做什么服务啊？
And you may say, oh, well, I chant Hare Krishna.
你可能会说，哦，我唱诵 Hare Krishna。
Well, everybody's supposed to do that.
那个的话，每一个人都应该做。
But what service do you do?
但是你做什么服务呢？
Right? We want to know, are you cooking for Krishna?
我们想知道你是不是为 Krishna 烹调？
No, maybe you cook for Krishna for yourself.
可能你为 Krishna 做饭是为了自己吃。
You cook and offer to Krishna and eat everything yourself.
你做完了给 Krishna 供奉，然后把所有的一切都自己可以吃了。
Never distribute any prasadam to anyone.
从来不给别人派发任何的 prasadam。
And so is that pure devotion?
那是纯粹的奉爱吗？
Not really.
并不是真的。
When we cook for Krishna, we should distribute to the devotees.
当我们做饭的时候，我们应该为 Krishna 而做，然后呢，再给奉献者们去派发。
Prabhupada was asked by the devotees. The devotees said, I'm a householder. How are we supposed to live in householder and family life?
有奉献者问帕布帕：“我是一个居士，那我们作为居士的话，我们应该怎么去过我们的家庭生活？”
And Prabhupada would say, whenever you cook food, after you offer it to Krishna, you should go to the door and you should call out, is anybody hungry?
帕布帕的说：“你做好饭之后，给 Krishna 供奉完了，应该走到门口去，然后大声的喊：有人饿吗？
Have you had your food yet?
你们已经吃过东西了吗？
If you have not eaten yet, please come and take food.
如果还没有吃过的话，那请来我家吃吧。
I have just offered to Krishna and prasadam is available.
我刚给 Krishna 供奉过 prasadam 准备好了。”
So like that, we want to distribute prasadam to people.
就这样，我们想把 prasadam 派发给其他的人。
If we just cook and offer to Krishna and eat everything ourselves, that is not pure devotion.
如果我们只是做饭给 Krishna 供完了，自己全吃了，那个肯定不是纯粹的奉献服务。
It's devotion,
那是算是奉爱，
but it's not really very high level of devotion.
并不是很高级的这种奉爱。
It said, if you cook and offer to the deities and eat yourself, then you're only a little better than the karmi who doesn't offer it to Krishna.
据说，如果你向神像供奉完了之后自己全吃了，那你就比那个完全不给 Krishna 供奉的 karmi 好一丁点儿。
Also, so we have to do service for Krishna.
我们必须要为 Krishna 做服务。
And the service must be favorable.
而且这个服务应该是顺意的。
We said Kamsa's service to Krishna. Kamsa's always remembering Krishna. thinking how to kill Krishna.
康萨也对 Krishna 服务嘛，他总是想着 Krishna 怎么杀了 Krishna，
So that's not favorable.
那个是不是顺意的？
And it should be, service should always, it is always, I mean, continuous. We're doing service continuously.
这个服务应该是一直的，也就是持续不断的，
Without breaks, no days off.
没有中断，没有休假日。
Right? You have a job, you get days off.
你们如果去上班会有休息日，
But there's no days off in Krishna consciousness.
在 Krishna 知觉之中没有休息日。
We want more service to Krishna.
我们想要对 Krishna 做更多的服务。
Last night, devotees were having kirtan until 1 o'clock in the morning.
昨天晚上奉献者做 Kirtan 一直到今天凌晨1点钟。
How many of you were there till 1 o'clock in the
你们
morning?
有多少人一直在那儿待到了凌晨1点？
Where were you all?
你们都在哪儿？
Oh, oh. So some devotees were very energetic. They had the kirtan till very late in the night.
有一些奉献者非常的有精力，所以他们做 Kirtan 一直做到了半夜。
And everything must be in relation to Krishna.
所有的一切都必须跟 Krishna 有关。
And Krishna means all of his different forms and incarnations.
Krishna 就意味着他所有的形象，他所有的化身，
And it also means all of his devotees
还意味
also.
着他的所有的奉献者们。
Right? So these are all different points in relation to Swarupa Lakshana, meaning essential characteristics.
这些要点都跟 Swarupa Lakshana 有关，意思就是首要的特征，
They have to be present.
必须要存在。
Right? So first point is Anukulyena.
第一点是 Anukulyena，
Krishna should get pleasure from it.
Krishna 能够从中应该是得到快乐。
And we want to please Krishna.
我们想取悦 Krishna，
And the attitude should also be favorable.
而且态度也应该是顺意的，
Not that, oh, I have to do this.
而不是说我必须得这么做。
They want me to do Sankirtan.
他们想让我去做 Sankirtan，
Oh, they want me to offer arti.
他们想让我去供奉 Arti，
No, why they always ask me?
他们干嘛老是问我呀？
So that's not the right attitude.
这个不是恰当的态度，
The mood must be right.
应该有恰当的情感，
And then everything in relation to Krishna.
然后所有的一切应该跟 Krishna 有关
Krishna and his expansions,
，Krishna 还有他的扩展，
and Krishna's paraphernalia.
还有 Krishna 的随身用品。
All right? And the paraphernalia means incense, the arctic paraphernalia, the conch shell, the madanga.
随身用品指的是香，还有做 Arti 的用品，然后呢，还有 Mridanga 等等这些，
And Krishna's pure devotees.
还有 Krishna 的纯粹奉献者，
And then Anushilanam,
还有 Anushilanam，
meaning constant activity.
意味着持续不断的活动。
We want to be always engaged in Krishna consciousness.
我们想一直从事 Krishna 知觉的活动。
Devotees don't have time to sit and talk about the mundane life.
奉献者没有时间坐下来闲谈世俗的生活。
There is Gramya Katha and Krishna Katha. There are two levels of conversation.
有 Gramya Katha， 还有 Krishna Katha， 有两种层面的交谈。
Gramya Katha is the village talk.
Gramya Katha 指的是就是村子里的闲言碎语。
Just like we've come to this place and we're making this place like a holy place.
就像我们来到了这个地方，我们把这里变成一个圣地。
Right, we're having fully Krishna conscious programs.
我们有完全 Krishna 知觉的节目。
But if we bring all of our mundane affairs of the material world into this place, then it's not proper.
但如果我们把物质世界里所有世俗的事物都带到这里的话，那就是不恰当的。
Right? We want to leave behind all the mundane, all the topics of the material world.
我们想把那些物质世界的世俗的话题都抛开。
And be busy talking about Krishna,
我们只去讨论 Krishna，
reading and hearing about Krishna,
阅读、聆听跟 Krishna 有关的一切，
taking part in service to Krishna,
参与对 Krishna 的服务。
cutting vegetables. So many devotees are here. It's a lot of work to cut and to clean.
切菜，这里有很多的奉献者，所以呢，要切菜，还有清洁，需要很多的工作。
But by serving the devotees, that you get great spiritual benefit.
但是通过服务奉献者们，你可以得到极大的灵性好处。
By serving the devotees, it opens the doors to liberation.
服务奉献者可以打开解脱的大门。
So you have a great opportunity here. So many devotees are here, and you have an opportunity to serve them.
你们有这么好的机会，因为这里有这么多的奉献者，所以呢，你们就可以好好的服务奉献者了。
So keep engaged in Krishna consciousness.
所以要持续不断的从事 Krishna 知觉的活动。
And okay, that was the Swarupa Lakshana. Now we're going to talk about the characteristics which may be there but may not. They're marginal characteristics.
我们已经谈论过了 Swarupa Lakshana， 现在我们要谈论的是 Tatastha Lakshana， 也就是有一些特征，它们是可能在，也可能不在，边际的。
All right, so the first one is this Anya Bilasita Shunyam.
第一个项目是 Anya Vilasita Shunyam。
Anya meaning other,
Anya 的意思是其他的
and Abhilas meaning desires.
，Abhilas 的意思是愿望
Ita, motive.
，Ita 动机
Oh. And then Sunyam, zero.
Shunyam 零。
Right? Sunyavadi. Prabhupada gave us a mantra to offer our obeisances to him. Nirvishesha Shunyavada Paschatya Desatarini.
Shunyavadi 就是舍罗帕帕德的顶拜祷文里，我们要对舍罗帕帕德说，Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini。
We want to get away. We want to remove all that Shunyavada understanding.
我们想要消除所有的 Shunyavada 的理解，
We want to get rid of it, get free of it.
我们想摆脱它。
Zero. This is like in the Buddhism, they talk about Shunya, Shunyavada.
佛教里他们谈 Shunyavada，
Right? They never talk about God or Krishna or anybody.
他们从来没有谈论过 Krishna 或者神。
They only talk about Kong, Kong.
他们只说空空，
Right? Everything is void, zero.
一切都是空的，都是零。
So these kind of things, they should be removed.
这些类型的东西应该被去除。
Right? We should be free of all material desires.
我们应该免于所有的物质愿望。
Right? What should we desire?
我们应该有什么愿望？
We should simply desire for Krishna, Krishna's service,
我们只应该有对 Krishna 的服务，想要得到 Krishna 的愿望，
get rid of all the material desires.
摆脱所有的物质愿望。
Material desires will bring you back to the material world.
物质愿望会让你再次回到物质世界。
And then,
接下来
Jnana Karma Janavritam.
Jnana Karmadya Navratam。
Jnana meaning impersonal philosophy.
Jnana 的意思是非人格的哲学，
Impersonal, that everything is one.
非人格指的是所有的一切都是一。
The Jnanis, they only speak about the oneness.
压你们只谈论一，
They only speak of the Brahman.
他们只谈论 Brahman。
If you go to the people who practice Jnana Yoga, they will only speak from the Upanishads.
如果你去找那些修习 Jnana Yoga 的人，他们只会引述 Upanishad，
They will not speak Bhagavad Gita.
他们不会讨论 Bhagavad
They
Gita，
will not speak Srimad Bhagavatam.
他们 们也不会谈论 Srimad
They
Bhagavatam，
will only speak Upanishads.
他们只会讨论 Upanishad。
Yesterday, B.V.V Swami was showing us about the different Upanishads.
昨天巴努 Swami 给我们展示了不同的 Upanishad，
So that's full of impersonal philosophy.
那充满了非人格的哲学。
They will speak the oneness.
他们谈论的都是一，
So we want to also remove that.
我们想把这个也去掉。
And karma,
还有 karma，
the desire to enjoy the material world.
想要享受物质世界的愿望。
The jnani wants liberation.
压你们想要解脱，
He wants to become one with God.
想跟神合而为一。
And the karmi, he wants to enjoy the material world.
而 karmi 他想享受物质世界。
So both of these desires
这
have
两种愿望都要不得，
they have to be removed.
应该被去掉。
And then they add this adi. Adi meaning other things like artificial detachment.
阿弟这个词指的是其他的东西，比如说人为的这种依附。
Artificial detachment. I will not touch any money.
我不碰任何的钱，
I will not look at any woman.
我不看任何的女人，
I will not live in the material world.
我不会住在物质世界，
I will not speak.
我不讲话了。
Right? This is artificial detachment.
这些都是人为的不依附。
And mystic yoga.
还有玄秘的 yoga，
Mystic yoga, people want to get yoga siddhis.
这个玄秘的 yoga 指的是人们想要得到瑜伽的 city。
Sometimes we see China people practice qigong.
有的时候我们可以看到中国人练气功，
They want to get siddhis, yoga powers.
他们想得到 city 瑜伽的力量。
They can, by their power, they can just look at something and they can lift big heavy blocks and move them up the mountain.
他们只需要看一眼，比如说他们就可以移动一个很大块的物体，或者是说移这个山。
Some Buddhist monks, they could do these things.
有一些佛教的和尚可以做到这样的事情。
They would, by their mental power, they would just look at the heavy block of stone and they could move it up the mountain.
他们通过他们冥想的力量，就可以把一块巨石搬到山顶。
That's mystic power,
这是玄秘力量，
a yoga siddhi.
或者被称为是 yoga city。
You can use a machine to lift the heavy block up the mountain.
你可以用一个机器来把巨石搬到山顶。
Other yogi, they can walk over the water.
还有其他的一些 yogi 瑜伽师在水上行走。
We think, oh, he's a great yogi.
我们想，哦，他是一个特别伟大的。
He can walk over the water.
他能够在水上行走。
We can go in the boat. You pay a few yuan and they cross the river in the boat.
你可以坐船呢，你就花几块钱，你就可以坐船过河。
So the yogi power is worth only a few yuan.
所以这个 yoga 的这种力量呢，瑜伽的力量就只值几块钱而已。
So mystic yoga is not the goal of life.
因此，玄秘的 yoga 并不是生命的目标。
We want to give up these things.
我们想放弃所有的这一切，
This foolishness, become absorbed in these kind of things.
只是出于愚蠢，人们才会沉浸在这些东西之中。
Right? So we don't want to be covered. We don't want our devotion to be influenced by these things.
所以我们不想被覆盖，不想让我们的奉爱受到这些东西的影响。
So these are the marginal
这
characteristics.
些都是边际的特征。
Prabhupada explains about this word anavritam,
阿布帕解释了这个词 anavritam，
meaning not covered.
意思是没有覆盖。
Right? It says uncovered by mental speculation or fruitive activity. Fruitive activities mean karma kanda.
他说没有被心智思辨或者是果报活动所覆盖。这个果报活动指的就是 karma kanda。
So every morning we are saying the 8th offense in chanting Hare Krishna.
然后每天早上我们都会提到对唱诵 Hare Krishna 的第8条冒犯。
Di Bhagavad Fan Shishama, Renwei Changsong Hare Krishna. right. We think karma kanda is activity, that chanting Hare Krishna should never be thought of being another karma kanda activity.
也就是说，唱诵 Hare Krishna 不能够被当成是一种 karma kanda 的活动。
Many temples, they promote karma kanda activities.
有很多的庙宇推崇 karma kanda 的活动。
But chanting Hare Krishna for devotional service should not be thought to be just something to get piety from.
但是唱诵 Hare Krishna 做奉献服务，这个不应该被认为是我们可以从中得到一些虔诚活动的结果。
Pious activities, you know, a lot of people, they do things like put the fish back in the sea.
这个虔诚活动就指的是有很多的人，他们买鱼，然后放生放到大海里。
Go to the market and get the fish, put them back in the sea, or get some birds and let the birds go free.
就是在市场上买一些鱼放到大海里，或者是买一些鸟，然后把这些鸟给放了。
People think this way we will get pious activities.
人们认为这样放生就是在做虔诚活动。
And with piety we will get good results, we will enjoy material life.
通过虔诚活动，我们就可以得到好的结果，于是便可以享受物质生活。
Business will improve.
你的生意就会有所改善。
If you go gambling, you'll make money.
如果你去赌博，就能挣钱。
Right? People go to the casino, go to Macau,
人们去澳门的赌场，
and so they want to get good luck.
他们想博一下好运气。
They may do some charity before they go.
在他们去之前，可能会进行一些布施。
Bless me that I can win the money.
祝福我能赢钱吧。
Is that pure devotion?
这是纯粹的奉爱吗？
No.
不是，
Right? We don't want to do that.
我们不想做那种东西。
So Prabhupada said, if you mix up karma with bhakti, or if you mix up jnana with bhakti, or if you mix up yoga, it is contaminated. It is not pure.
巴巴德说，如果你把 karma 跟 bhakti 混在一起，或者是你把 jnana 跟 bhakti 混在一起，或者是说你混合了 yoga， 那这个就被污染了，就不是纯粹的了。
Right. Now, a lot of us, we do mix up our bhakti with karma.
我们很多人都会用 karma 混合在我们的 bhakti 之中。
Oh, let my son get a good job. Let him pass the exam.
哦，让我儿子找到一个好工作吧，让他通过考试吧。
Help me find a good husband for my daughter.
请帮助我的女儿找到一个好丈夫吧。
Oh, Krishna, help me.
哦 ，Krishna 帮帮我吧。
I'm in debt. I have to pay money.
我现在欠债了，我得还钱，
Please help me make some money.
请帮助我挣钱吧。
So we want to get some help from Krishna. That's karma.
如果我们想从 Krishna 那儿得到这样的帮助，那就是 karma。
We're worshipping Krishna. We have some devotion, but we have material desires.
我们崇拜 Krishna， 我们怀有一些奉爱之情，但是我们还混合了物质的愿望。
And if we worship Krishna thinking, oh Krishna, give me liberation.
如果我们崇拜 Krishna 的时候想，哦 Krishna 给我解脱吧，
Let me get out of this material world. I'm suffering.
让我摆脱这个物质世界吧，我在受苦。
That is also not pure devotion.
那也不是纯粹的奉爱。
We're worshipping Krishna to get something from him.
我们崇拜 Krishna 为的是从他那儿得到一些东西。
We may want liberation,
我们可能想要解脱，
or you may want mystic power.
或者你可能想要神秘的力量。
We want to control the universe.
我们想控制宇宙，
We want the yoga cities.
我们想得到 Yoga City。
So material desires mean the bhakti is contaminated.
所以物质愿望就意味着 Bhakti 被污染了。
So when the bhakti is contaminated, it doesn't have the same effect.
当 Bhakti 被污染的时候，就不会有同样的效果了。
You won't get love of Krishna.
你就不会得到的 Krishna 的爱。
You may get your material desires.
你可能会得到你的物质愿望。
You may get the money, you may get the good wife or the good husband.
你可能会得到金钱，你可能会得到一个好的妻子或
You
者
may
是好
get
的
the
丈夫，
you may get the child you want,
你可能会得到你想要的孩子，
but you don't get love of Krishna.
但是你却得不到对 Krishna 的爱，
We forgot what was the real purpose.
你忘记了真正的目的是什么。
So Prabhupada said, pure devotional service is given by Rupa Goswami.
释勒帕帕德说，纯粹的奉献服务由释勒रूpa Goswami 给出。
Anya bilasita shunyam,
Anya vilashita shunyam,
meaning no desire for fruitive activity or philosophical speculation or yogic, mystic yogic magic.
意思就是说，没有果报活动的愿望，没有哲学思辨的愿望，或者是说瑜伽的玄秘的瑜伽魔法的这些愿望。
Prabhupada said, no, simply how to satisfy Krishna. That is bhakti.
拉布帕说，不仅仅是如何去满足 Krishna， 那便是 Bhakti。
Put aside everything else, all the material desires.
把所有其他的一切都放在一边，放弃所有的物质愿望。
And Prabhupada said, Anukuyena means what is favorable, what Krishna desires.
释勒帕帕德说，阿那库列那意思是顺意的，也就是 Krishna 想要的。
Remember yesterday I told you about what is surrender to Krishna.
记得昨天我跟你们讲过，到底对 Krishna 的臣服是什么吗？
Right? There were there are 6 characteristics of surrender to Krishna.
对 Krishna 的臣服有6个特征。
Krishna Kumari will tell us,
Krishna Kumari 给我们讲一讲，
because she studied Bhakti Shastri,
因为他学习了 Bhakti Shastri，
so she'll tell us what is one of the characteristics of surrender to Krishna.
所以他来给我们讲一下臣服于 Krishna 的一个特征是什么。免除所有的物质欲望。Get rid of all material desires. Get all auspiciousness.
Well, I don't know how they worded it in the Chinese book, but in the English book they don't word it like that.
我不知道在中文的书上写的是什么，在英文的书上不是这样写的。
Yes.
Give up everything unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. That is.
Yeah, unfavorable. That's right. That's the word. What is favorable and what is not favorable.
是的，就是有利的，所有一切不利的都放弃，有利的可以接受。是这个意思。
First is anukuyasya sankalpa. Anukuya again. Anukuyena. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the verse about surrender to Krishna is there. It says anukuyasya sankalpa. Accepting what is favorable to devotional service and rejecting what is not favorable.
在书写他那查他们他提到这个定义是说阿那库亚西亚三高帕，然后这里也提到是阿那库耶那，也就是说我们要臣服的话，必须要放弃所有一切不利的，接受一切有利的。
So what is favorable to devotional service means hearing about Krishna and chanting about Krishna.
对奉献服务有利的是什么呢？就是聆听跟 Krishna 有关的一切，唱诵跟 Krishna 有关的一切。
And what is unfavorable?
而不利的是什么？
Well, meat, fish and eggs, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex.
鱼肉就是吃鱼肉蛋，然后服用麻醉品、赌博。
And everything in relation to these activities is unfavorable.
所有一切跟这几项活动有关的都是不利的，
So we reject all of these things.
所以我们要排斥所有的这一切，
So that is first class bhakti.
那就是一流的 Bhakti。
We want to understand what is pure devotion.
我们想理解什么是纯粹的奉爱
Right? Uttama bhakti.
，Uttama Bhakti。
Uttama means the highest devotion.
Uttama 的意思就是最高级的奉爱
pure devotional service.
纯粹的奉献服务。
So Swarupa Lakshana, 3 qualities.
Swarupa Lakshana 有3项品质。
Anukulyena,
Anukulyena
meaning favorable.
意思是有利的、顺意的。
And then Krishna, meaning Krishna's expansions, Krishna's paraphernalia, Krishna's devotees.
然后 Krishna 这个跟 Krishna 有关，就指的是 Krishna 的扩展、Krishna 的随顺用品，还有 Krishna 的奉献者。
And Anushilanam, meaning constant
Anushilanam 是持续不断的，
or continuous.
或者是一直的。
And then Tatasta, the marginal characteristics.
然后有 Tatasta， 也就是边际的特征。
Anyabilasita shunyam, getting rid of the desire for this zero, for making everything zero.
Anyabilashita shunyam 就是摆脱这种零，摆脱一切都是空的状态。
And jnana, the desire to become one.
Vighna 就是这种合而为一。
Karma, the desire to enjoy the material world.
Karma 指的是享受物质世界的愿望。
And adi, all the other things in relation to material sense gratification.
然后呢，这个后边的词指的是所有一切跟感官享乐有关的。
So we want to get rid of all of these things.
因此，我们想消除所有的这一切。
Oh, we had some examples, but haven't been able to find them yet. Do you remember these, Chalangi? Did you?
Group exercises.
Huh?
Group exercise.
Yeah, we had, when we present this, we put the devotees into groups and then give them different cases, examples, and ask them, is this pure devotion or not?
I don't remember we have these cases.
Oh, it's a good exercise. We will give you some examples about what some of the examples were like. Someone is a devotee, and they're doing business.
我们举个例子吧，有人是个奉献者，他在做生意。
And they have a policy that whenever they make a lot of money, they'll give a 2% to the temple.
然后他们有个策略，每当赚了大钱，就把2%捐给庙里。
And before a business contract, the devotee will come and he'll pray to Krishna.
而在签这个商业的合同之前，这个奉献者就会跑到庙里去，就跟Krishna祈祷。
And he'll beg the deities, please bless me,
他会请求神像，请祝福我，
so I can give you more donation.
这样我可以给你更多的捐款。
All right? So is that pure devotion?
这是纯粹的奉爱吗？
Why not?
为什么不？ Because they have material desires. It's like an exchange.
Right, yes. Or what about the couple who come before the deity and they beg the deity, we want a child, please help us.
那如果要是有一对夫妇来到神像的面前，祈求神像说：“请帮帮我们，我们想要个孩子。”那这个怎么样？
Is that pure devotion?
这也是纯粹奉爱吗？
Huh?
是吗？ If they want a fully Krishna conscious child, and then that is pure.
Really?
真的吗？
Well, I don't know. You may get a child, how to make it Krishna conscious?
这个我们不知道，就是你说的答案。然后呢，我们要有孩子的话，我们应该努力把他们变成具有 Krishna 直觉的。
Somebody is a pujari. They work for the temple and every month they get some money for worshipping the deity. They have no job, they spend the whole day worshipping the deity, and the temple pay him a salary every month for worshipping the deity.
有的人他是普扎瑞，整天崇拜神像，因为他整天崇拜神像，他没有时间去工作， 里给他付工资，
So, is that pure devotion?
这是纯粹的奉爱吗？
Well, of course they're working for the temple, they're doing devotional service, worshipping the deity. The point is that they have to accept whatever the temple can afford to pay them.
那他们没有其他的工作，他们整天在庙里崇拜神像，也就是说，他们应该接受庙里能给他们多少就给他们多少。
If they are satisfied with just whatever the amount the temple can afford to pay them, then it can be also pure devotion.
如果他们要是满足于庙里给他们无论多少的数额，那样也可以被认为是纯粹的奉爱。
Of course, not brahmacharis.
当然了，不是说 brahmachari，
Usually the brahmacharis don't get paid.
通常 brahmachari 没有工资。
In Mayapur, for example, the brahmacharis, they get, what, 500 rupees? 500 rupees a month. Well, so with the 500 rupees, they have to buy their soap, their toothpaste, their razor blade. They have to take care of themselves with 500 rupees a month.
在马雅普，每一个 brahmachari 真守生每个月能得到500卢比的零花钱。用这500卢比呢，你要去买你自己的肥皂、洗衣粉、牙膏，还有比如说刮胡子的刀片，照顾自己的生活。
Of course, they've got a place they stay in the ashram and they eat prasadam every day.
当然了，他们有地方住，住在 ashram 里，每天还能吃到 prasadam。
So is that pure devotion?
这是纯粹奉爱吗？
Yes.
是的。
Yeah, they're not becoming rich men.
他们也没成为富有的人。
You know, they're just getting 500 rupees to cover their basic expenses.
他们只得到500卢比来覆盖，就是说他们基本的日常开销。
And the same way somebody's a householder and they have a little house in Mayapur or somewhere and they live there and they're serving the deity, they get some amount from the temple for doing their service.
同样道理，如果一个人他是个居士，在马雅普有一个小房子可以住，然后为神像服务，然后得到一些薪水。
But they don't make a lot of money.
他们不是说赚大钱，
They just get enough money to maintain themselves.
只能是得到足够的钱能养活自己。
They're not going to be rich. They don't have their own car or anything like that.
不是说能发了大财，没法买自己的车什么的。
But they're doing valuable service for the temple.
他们在为庙里做着宝贵的服务。
And they work hard all day doing deity worship, cooking the prasadam, sometimes cooking and making offerings.
他们在很辛苦的在给庙里干活，崇拜神像啊，给神像做吃的东西。
So is that pure devotion? Yeah, it is.
这是纯粹奉爱吗？是的。
But if they demand, I want a contract, I need this much money, I need the house, I need a car, then it's not really so pure.
但如果他们说我需要签个合同，我要房子，然后我要车，那样就不准确了。
So there's some category, some standards there.
所以说是有一些类别，有一些范畴。
And somebody may be worshipping Krishna, but they think, oh, I need extra mercy, I'm going to do something very risky, so I will worship also Lakshmi to help make me successful in my business.
然后有的人他本来崇拜 Krishna， 但是他一想，我得冒一些风险，我得干点别的才能赚大钱。这样呢，我去也崇拜一下 Lakshmi， 为了让我的生意更加的繁荣。
Lakshmi means the goddess of fortune. People want money, usually they will approach Lakshmi.
Lakshmi 是幸运女神，那些想挣钱的人一般都会去找 Lakshmi。
But that is not pure devotion.
但那样做并不是纯粹的奉爱。
Worshipping demigods, that's not going to give you love of God.
崇拜拜神人并不能够给你带来对守神的爱。
So we have to understand how devotional service can be contaminated by material desires.
所以我们应该明白到，这个奉献服务如何可以受到物质愿望的污染。
Is it clear?
清楚了吗？
Okay, Prabhupada says, it says that actually Krishna consciousness can be based simply on hearing chanting, remembering, etc.
施罗帕帕德说，实际上Krishna知觉可以仅仅建立在聆听、唱诵、意念等等的基础上。
Krishna consciousness is based on these things. Shravanam, Kirtan, Vishnu.
Krishna 知觉就可以建立在这些项目的基础上。
We want, Prabhupada said that hearing and chanting, they are the root of the creeper of devotion. You want to hear very carefully. This morning one lady wanted to read her poem to Jayapataka Swami. You have to be pure devotee to write nice poetry for Krishna. Lord Chaitanya was very particular. He would get very upset if the poetry was not proper. People would write dramas in Sanskrit and they would come to Lord Chaitanya. They would want to read their drama to Lord Chaitanya. And before Lord Chaitanya would hear it, first they had to read it to Swarup Damodar Goswami. And Swarup Damodar Goswami would analyze it and see if there were any faults in it. And you have to know the principles of rasa. And if you get the rasa wrong, then it's very bad. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can read about how one Brahmana came and he'd written a poem, he'd written a drama about Krishna. And he was very eager to read it. And devotees told him, no, come on, wait, very risky. If your drama is wrong, you'll really be in trouble. You'll upset Lord Chaitanya. So the Brahmana, anyway, when they read the poem, then Swarup Damodar pointed out the mistakes, the faults in the poem. So we have to be very careful. We have to hear, first hear very carefully. And when you hear nicely, then you can chant. And when we hear and chant nicely, then remembering will come naturally. People like to meditate, they like to sit silently and say, I'm thinking of Krishna. But they don't know anything about Krishna. So how can they think of Krishna? How can they describe Krishna if they don't know anything about him? So we have to hear carefully. So Prabhupada said, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 9 different processes, besides which everything done is unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. So anything which is not connected into the 9 different processes, then it is not favorable. So one should always be guarding against fall down. Maya can be very powerful. It is Krishna's energy. And we are fighting Maya.
而我们在跟玛雅打仗。
Every time your eyes close and you sit and go to, we forget Krishna.
每一次你把眼睛不由自主闭上了，然后呢，你就把 Krishna 给忘了。
Right? We have to bring the mind back under control.
我们要让自己的心意重新被控制。
Keep ourselves fixed on Krishna.
让我们自己坚处在 Krishna 身上。
Because as soon as we forget Krishna, immediately Maya is there.
因为一旦我们忘记 Krishna， 立刻玛雅就出现。
All right. So we've been speaking about this definition of pure devotional service.
我们一直在谈论关于纯粹奉献服务的定义。
And we said there are two characteristics.
我们谈到有两个特征。
There is the essential, the Swarupa characteristic.
有首要的，也就是 Swarupa 的特征。
And there were three Swarupa characteristics.
然后有三个 Swarupa 的特征。
Right? It must be favorable.
一定是有利的、顺利的。
It must be in relation to Krishna.
必须是跟 Krishna 有关的。
And it must be constant, continuous.
是持续不断的、一直的。
And then the tatasta, the marginal characteristics.
然后是 Tatasta， 也就是边际的特征。
And the marginal characteristics were, first of all, the desire for making everything zero.
边际的特征，首先第一点是把所有的一切都变成零。
And then the other thing was the desire to make everything one.
然后呢，另外的这个特征就指的是希望所有的一切都是一。
And then material desires.
然后是物质的愿望。
So we want to remove all these things.
我们想消除所有的这些东西。
All right? So we were explaining that there is pure devotional service and mixed devotional service.
所以我们解释了有纯粹的奉献服务，也有混合的奉献服务。
There's also devotional service in ignorance,
还有在愚昧之中的奉献服务，
devotional service in passion,
在激情之中的奉献服务，
devotional service in goodness.
在善良之中的奉献服务。
In ignorance, we do devotional service, we want to harm someone.
在愚昧之中，我们做奉献服务，其实是为了伤害别人。
Somebody wrote to one person, one devotee, and he wrote to the devotee and said, I've been fasting all day on Ekadasi and I chanted 64 rounds.
有一个人给奉献者写信，哎，卡德西这一天我都在戒食，而且我念诵了64卷。
And I use all my power which I've got from this to curse you.
我用我从中得到的所有的力量来诅咒你。
Really?
真的，
Devotee wrote like this.
奉献者就居然写这样的信。
No. So that is devotional service in ignorance.
这就是在愚昧属性之中的奉献服务。
And then devotional service in passion is that we want to get name and fame for ourselves.
还有在激情形态之中的奉献服务，我们想为自己挣得名誉，挣得这种名望。
Sometimes, we go to people to get donations for the temple, and they want, when you go to a businessman, they want to know, what are you going to do for me?
有的时候我们去庙里筹款，然后你找到一个生意人，他就会想知道你能为我做什么。
So, you have to tell, we'll put your name up, we'll put a big sign up, donated by this company, you
然后
see.
你就跟他说，我们给你做一个大牌子，在上面刻上，这个是谁谁哪个公司捐的。
And then they're happy, they think, oh, okay, my company, the company name of everybody will know we donated.
然后他们就高兴了，哦，我们这个把公司的名字刻上，然后所有人都知道是我们捐的款。
So they're giving to Krishna, it's devotional service, but it's mixed with some passion there.
他们是在做奉献服务，也是为了 Krishna， 但其中混合了激情。
And devotional service in goodness, we do devotional to destroy my sinful reactions.
而在善良属性之中的奉献服务是说，我做奉献服务是为了消除我的罪恶反应。
I did a lot of nonsense before I became a devotee. I did so many sinful things. Let me do devotional service, destroy my bad karma.
我在做奉献服务之前呢，我做了好多的胡作非为，积累了很多不好的业报反应。我现在做奉献服务，让这个奉献服务消除我的不好的 karma 吧。
So that is not pure devotion.
这个也不是纯粹的奉爱，
It's in the mode of goodness.
不过这个处在善良属性之中。
Pure devotional service is done simply for Krishna.
纯粹的奉献服务意味着只是为了 Krishna 而做，
Okay?
可以吗？
Okay, we have one more slide here.
然后还有一张我那边。
It is only for our guidance that Srila Rupa Goswami prepared this book.
就是为了指导我们，释罗रूपा गोस्वामी才写了这本书。
Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is now presented in the form of the nectar of devotion.
Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 现在呢以奉爱的甘露的形式被呈现出来。
Persons engaged in Krishna consciousness movement may take advantage of this great literature and be very solidly situated in Krishna consciousness.
从事于 Krishna 知觉运动的人，可以充分的利用这部伟大的文献，并且坚实的处在 Krishna 知觉之中。
So it's a very nice book to go through.
这是一本很好的书，可以读。
We encourage all of you, read the book carefully.
我们鼓励你们所有的人认真的读书，
Read it again and again.
一遍又一遍的去读。
There are some temples, every morning they will read some portion from Nectar of Devotion.
有一些庙，他们每天早上都会一起读一部分的奉爱的甘露。
And you know, we should know the contents of the book. We should understand it nicely.
我们应该知道这个书里的内容是什么，应该好好的去理解。
Prabhupada said it is the handbook for the devotees.
巴布帕德说，这个是奉献者的手册，
Just like if you work for the railway, you have the handbook for the railway.
就像你如果为铁路工作呢，你也会有一本铁路手册。
So we have the handbook for devotional service.
我们也有奉献服务的手册。
Okay, are there any questions? Anybody?
还有其他人有什么问题吗？
Yes.
哈瑞巴克蒂维拉史里面提到，说送Radha一个耳环能够增强对经典的品味，然后有的奉献者听到了，他就想去买一个耳环送给 Radha。那这种是纯粹奉爱服务吗？
We heard from Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas, if you offer one pair of earrings to Krishna, and then you can get good understanding to the scriptures. So some devotees, they heard this and they buy this as a gift, offer to the deities. This is considered as pure devotional service or not?
Well, it's mixed devotion.
这个是混合的奉爱。
Those kind of statements are there in the scriptures to encourage people who don't regularly do devotion that they can do these things and get some benefit.
经典之中这样的声明是为了鼓励那些不经常做奉献服务的人，他们可以做一些服务，得到一些好处。
And just like Kartik month,
就像是 Kartika 月，
during the month of Damodar, we encourage people offer a ghee lamp.
在大曼达尔月，我们鼓励人们供奉酥油灯。
It's to encourage people who don't regularly do devotional
这
service.
是为了鼓励那些不经常做奉献服务的人。
So similarly, these kind of statements which are there in the scriptures is to encourage people who have, that maybe they don't do these things regularly, but they will be inclined to do it if they think they can get some benefit.
同样道理呢，经典之中的这些说法是为了鼓励那些不经常做奉献服务的人，然后他们就会觉得做了这个服务会得到一些好处，然后他们就会去接着做服务。
So it's mixed devotion.
这个是混合的奉爱。
不建议已经启迪的奉献者，是不是应该更多的专注于经典和这 九项从聆听开始的9项奉爱服务之上。
What about the already initiated devotees? They shouldn't do things like this, right? They should focus all their energy on the study of the scriptures and the 9 processes of devotional service.
But you can also give earrings to Radharani.
但你也可以给 Radharani 献上耳环。
It's not that because you give earrings that you're not you're not pure devotee.
不是说你给他送耳环，你就不是纯粹奉献者了。
Pure devotees also give presents to Radharani.
纯粹的奉献者也给 Radharani 献礼物。
But they don't expect to get anything. They just want to show their love for Radha.
他们并没有期待着得到什么回报，只是想向 Radha 展示他们的这种爱。
You can give to Krishna, Radha and Krishna, with the mode of pure devotion.
你可以以纯粹的奉爱的情感给 Radha 和 Krishna 献礼物。
But the incentive is there to encourage you to give.
然后呢，这个经典上说的是为了鼓励你去给。
But you shouldn't think, oh, then I'm not going to give. I will just, I will just study the scriptures myself. And you never give any earrings to Radharani. Then that's not very good.
然后你不能就想着说，我不给 Radharani， 我就天天读经典。如果我就什么都不给 Radharani， 这个也不好。
No, you should. Devotees often come. They will give presents to the deities.
奉献者们经常来给神像送礼物。
We were in Todu, up in Penang there at the Todu, the Temple of Devotional Understanding, Sibrangjaya, and 3 devotees from mainland China donated for complete sets of clothes for the deities.
我们之前在槟城，我们在这个偷渡，也就是奉爱理解之庙，有3个来自于大陆的奉献者，他们捐赠了整3套神像的衣服。
So that is, that's pure devotion.
这个是纯粹的奉爱。
Nobody was offering them anything.
其他的人没有供奉任何东西。
And in Mayapur, Jalangi Maharaji arranges to bring so many jewelries, beads and things from China, and the devotees sit every day and they make jewelry, they make necklaces and so many ornaments for all the deities.
马上就说我组织就是奉献者们从中国带来很多的珠子，然后我们在麻亚普专门有一个团队，我们是整天在那儿干活，给神像做各种各样的珠宝、首饰、项链什么的。
Yeah, and look at all the deities which are there around Mayapur. Not in the temple, of course, you have Panchatattva, huge figures, and they have big necklaces and ornaments, everything.
我们可以看见麻亚普有那么大的神像，潘彻塔塔瓦，他们有很大的项链，还有所有的这些首饰。
And then you have 8 gopis and Radha Madhava, 8 gopis.
还有 Radha Madhava 以及8个 Gopi 们。
And then you have so many other temples. You have the Jagannath Mandir. Yeah, in every different ashram, they've got sets of deities.
然后还有 Jagannath Mandir 其他的庙，每一个 ashram 也都有神像。
So they're making ornaments and jewelry, necklaces for all these deities.
我们就是给所有的这些神像做首饰、做项链。
Yeah, that's wonderful devotion.
这是非常奇妙的奉爱。
Dressing. Well, the one devotee came from China. She was showing the devotees how to make, because she had a jewelry business before she became a devotee. So she knew how to make things, and she could train devotees also.
有一个奉献者以前呢，他就是去马普之前，他是做珠宝生意的。他到了马普之后呢，他知道怎么做珠宝，所以他就帮助培训其他的奉献者怎么给神像做珠宝。
And they have a whole group of ladies and sit there, and every afternoon they make the necklaces.
我们有整个的一个团队，全是马太吉构成的，然后就坐在那儿给神像做珠宝。
And so that's devotional service.
那个是奉献服务。
We give presents to the deities. Yes, we have special ceremonies sometimes. You make presents, bring presents to the deities.
我们为神像送礼物，有时候还专门有这样的仪式，为神像呈现礼物。
There was the one queen. What's the story? The Shakti Gopal deity in Orissa. There was the queen of Orissa. She wanted to give her nose ring to the deity deity of Krishna. She had some beautiful stone which was like a nose ring, and she thought, I should give it to the deity Shakshi Gopal.
在印度奥里萨邦有一个 Shakshi Gopal 的神像，奥里萨邦的王后，她有一个很漂亮的鼻环，上面有一个宝石。她想呢，我想把这个鼻环送给 Shakshi Gopal 的神像。
And she thought, but maybe the deity doesn't have a hole in the nose, because to wear a nose ring you have to pierce the nose.
王后就想了，那也许这个 Shakshi Gopal 的神像没有鼻孔，就是这个鼻子上没有打一个带鼻环的孔，因为你要戴鼻环，必须要把鼻子给刺穿。
So she thought, how will they wear the... But then when they went to the deity, they found there was a hole in the nose. There was a hole there, and she could wear the nose. The deity could wear the nose ring.
他就想呢，没有洞怎么戴？然后结果他们去看神像，发现神像的鼻子上真的有一个洞，神像就可以戴他的这个鼻环了。
Krishna was showing he wanted to take the nose ring. He arranged a hole in his nose.
Krishna 就想表达他的这种爱，他真的在自己的鼻子上出现了一个这个洞。
So this is Krishna's reciprocating with the loving offering of his devotee.
所以 Krishna 在跟他的充满了爱的奉献者们在进行爱心的交流。
There's a big deity, there's a famous deity in South India, in Trivandrum. There's a deity there of Ananta Padmanabha.
在南印度的 Trivandrum 有非常著名的 Ananta Padmanabha 的神像。
And in the past, a long time ago, hundreds of years ago, the kings there were kings there, and these kings were great devotees of Lord Vishnu.
在过去，比如说100年之前，有很伟大的国王们，这些国王都是Vishnu，都是 Krishna 的奉献者。
And these kings used to give ornaments to the deities.
这些国王们就给神像送礼物、送装饰品。
So it happened that just recently, just only some few years ago, they found out that there were cellars below the temple. There were some places below the temple, and they found all of this jewelry. It was incredible jewelry, beautiful ornaments, and they were all donated by the different kings for the deity.
就在最近，也就是几年前，大家发现，在庙的底部有一些隔层，在这里边呢有不可思议的那么漂亮的珠宝。这些珠宝首饰全都是那些伟大的国王们捐赠的。
The wealth, it was incredibly wealthy. The government came and they couldn't begin to estimate how much the jewelry was worth.
这个财富是非常庞大的，政府的官员来了之后，他们都没有办法估量出所有这些装饰品到底价值多少。
It was all donated by the kings for the pleasure of the deity.
全都是那些国王们为了取悦神像捐赠的。
It's still there.
还在呢。
And so in the past, people had that culture to give to the deities.
所以在过去呢，人们有这种文化，为神像捐赠。
But I remember in London at one point, one man wanted he wanted to get gold ornaments for the deity. He wanted to buy expensive jewelry for the deities.
我记得在伦敦有一个人，他想给神像捐赠金子，然后或者是其他的装饰品。
But Prabhupada said no.
但 Prabhupada 说不。
He said that happened before. He said it just attracts thieves.
Prabhupada 说，之所以说不，是因为以前发生过这样的情况，你用真的，然后就会招贼。
That people come, they see all the valuable jewelry and they will try to steal it.
人们看到这些价值连城的珠宝，他们就会想把它偷走。
So Prabhupada said, don't buy all. I don't want you to bring a lot of expensive jewelry.
于是 Prabhupada 说，我不想给神像带这么多，就是这些价值连城的珠宝。
But if you go to other temples like in Tirupati and like that, Tirupati, they worship in a different mood.
但如果你去 Tirupati 的话，你们会发现他们是以不同的情感在崇拜主。
And they will have they'll make jewelry for the deity with diamonds and all kinds of valuable jewels.
他们会用价值连城的珠宝，用真的钻石为神像装饰。
And they worship the deity in that kind of opulence.
他们是以这种富裕来崇拜神像的。
But we don't do that in our
可是
line.
我们这个传承不这么做。
Usually we don't have such because it's too risky.
我们通常不用这么价值连城的东西，因为太冒风险。
We don't want to attract thieves.
我们不想去招贼。
There's one temple recently they opened in South India. They have a statue of Ramanujacharya, solid gold.
在南印度最近他们开了一个庙，做了一尊真金的，就是实实在在的真金的 Ramanujacharya 的像。
But they have to have armed guards there.
但他们必须要供军队来看守。
So risky.
很冒风险。
Okay. Any other question?
有其他问题吗？
Yes. Yashoda Yogini Yashoda. Yeah.
明白不对？那个我有2个问题，第一个问题是今天的一个问题。刚刚顾若对讲说，纯粹的奉爱服务是灵性进步的根。那我的问题是，如果我们在念诵的时候，品位都不是很高，算不算纯粹的奉爱服务？就是念诵会出现昏沉啦，那个杂念纷飞啦，这是第一个问题。第二个问题。
Okay, 第一个问题。
The question is, sometimes when we're chanting, we feel drowsy and we have all kinds of ideas coming to our minds, but we are trying our best to chant. Is this considered as pure devotional service?
Yes.
是的。
It's not pure devotional chanting, but it's the intermediate stage.
这个不算是纯粹的唱诵，但这个属于中间阶段。
You're trying to chant clearly.
你是在努力的、清晰的唱诵。
So that's good.
这是一件好事儿。
That's the intermediate level in
这
chant.
就是唱诵的中间阶段。
That is platform of bhava, of liberation.
这个是巴瓦的阶段，已经超越了解脱。
Not exactly bhava, but liberation.
不能说是到了巴瓦，算是解脱的阶段。
All right. So keep trying to chant like that.
你应该这样的继续努力的去唱诵。
Try to improve.
努力的去改善。
Try to control the mind.
努力去控制心意。
That is pure devotion.
那就是纯粹的奉爱。
Yes. Okay.
是什么？
第二个问题是，就是昨天的我聆听顾的讲课，就说现在一些年轻人不是要工作嘛，然后需要去一些大的公司，而且是外企公司工作，因为外企公司的挣钱很多。那我听到的是，不如说不要去外企工作。我的问题是，其实每一个奉献都愿意多挣一点钱，多为 Krishna 做一些服务。但是如果不去大公司工作，在一些小公司工作，那个钱很少。有时候可能就只顾维持自己的基本生活，就是服务可能给不了，就是供奉不了那么多金钱。我不明白为什么不让去大的公司工作，还是为什么？
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, she doesn't understand why Guru Maharaj doesn't allow the youth to go to the multinational corporation to work, because we want to make more money and then we can offer more donations. If we stay in a small company, we make little money and we could hardly maintain ourselves.
Yes, but you go into the big company, how long will they keep you in the company?
你去大公司工作，他们能留你多久啊？
There's no guarantee they'll keep you in that job for very long.
没有保障，他们能够长时间的让你做这个工作。
The big companies, they also move their offices.
大公司他们也会办公室会搬家。
There was one devotee lady in Dubai. She had the job, big company. She was making a lot of money. And then all of a sudden they said, we're moving the office. We're moving everything to Pakistan.
有一个女士，她在迪拜工作，在一个大公司里挣很多钱，但是呢，突然那个办公室就说，我们现在要搬办公室了，我们要搬到巴基斯坦去。
She's got to find a new job.
她必须得找一份新工作。
So you're very insecure in these companies.
在这样的公司工作是非常的不安全的。
They may give you a job for some time, then after some time they tell you to go, we don't want you.
他们可能会暂时给你一份工作，过一段时间之后就说呢，我不想要你了。
And you go in these jobs, what happens to you? The bad association.
你去上这样的班儿，有什么样的结果呢？就是很糟糕的联谊。
So many people there, they're not devotees, it's very bad environment.
在那个地方有很多的人都不是奉献者，很糟糕的环境。
You'll get very bad association.
你就会得到很糟糕的联谊。
And you get very less time to do devotional service.
你做奉献服务的时间会很少。
Money is not so important.
金钱并不是那么重要。
You may have the big job and how much you're going to be able to give to Krishna.
你可能会有一个很好的工作，那你能给 Krishna 多少呢？
You have to pay so much taxes.
你还得交很多税。
You have to have so many more clothes to go to work in.
你还得买很多的衣服才能去上班。
You have to have nice car.
还得开一辆好车。
You have to go to the beauty parlor all the time.
还得一直去美容院。
You stand up, huh?
She has, I think, misunderstanding. She thought you are trying to tell the youth not go to the big companies to work, but they should work in a small company. But I think yesterday you mentioned
No, work for Krishna. I said to be a devotee, full-time devotee.
不是说不去大公司工作，在小公司工作，而是说要成为奉献者，为 Krishna 工作，全职奉献者的工作。
Yeah.
他讲不要去医院的公司工作，不是这里没有讲这个啊，我没有听到你讲这个啊。昨天上午讲，他讲不要去医院做医院的公司。
现在你明白了吗？这不是说去在外面工作赚大钱去大公司，而是说要全职奉献者，就在 Krishna 直觉的团体里工作。
Yeah, I was saying we need the young men to become full-time devotees.
是的，我提到了，我们需要年轻人成为全职奉献者。
And I told them they have a good future if they become a devotee.
而且我告诉他们，如果他们成为奉献者，他们会有一个很美好的未来。
We have nice temples. We need people to manage the temples.
我们有很好的庙宇，我们需要人来管理我们的庙宇。
They can also take big, important positions in the society.
他们还可以担任社会上重要的职位。
They can be. I was telling about the one devotee in Malaysia. He's in the Sarawak, in the what's it, West Malaysia, East Malaysia, East Malaysia. Yeah. So in Sarawak, East Malaysia, there's a temple there, and the one devotee there, they made him the head of the Malaysia Hindu Sangam.
我昨天就提到有一个奉献者在东马的萨尔瓦，然后在那里有一个地方，就是这个奉献者担任了整个那个地方的印度社区的一个桑嘎的一个负责人，是一个秘书。
Yeah, it's an important position in the Hindu society.
在印度社团之中，这是很重要的一个地位。
So he didn't go to university, he didn't do a lot of studying.
他并没有上大学，然后也没有学很多的这些学习。
But he is respected as a, as a religious leader.
但是他被作为一位宗教的领袖受到尊敬。
And so you go in the material world, you work in a big multinational company, nobody will respect you.
你在物质世界里给一个跨国大公司工作，没有人尊敬你。
You're just selling all kinds of garbage
就是卖一些乱七八糟的东西，
and lying and cheating to people,
跟人们撒谎、欺骗，
making money from others
从其他人身上赚钱，
by lying and cheating.
就是通过撒谎和欺骗。
But if they're in Krishna consciousness, then they can be making advancement. They can have a good life in this life and in the next life.
但如果要是他们在 Krishna 知觉之中的话，他们就可以在此生之中取得进步，而且下一世有非常好的未来。
But You work in a multinational company, you're suffering all this life, and next life you also be very bad.
如果你去跨国的大公司工作的话，你这辈子就遭受痛苦，下一辈子也很糟糕。
How much you will give to Krishna?
你能给Krishna多少？
Just because you're working in multinational company.
就因为你在跨国的大公司里工作吗？
But if you give your life for Krishna's service, you're giving much more to Krishna.
但如果你把你的生命献给Krishna的服务，那你给Krishna的可就多多了。
You give a little donation.
你给一点点捐款，
Better you give your life.
最好还是你把你的生命献给Krishna。
Yes? Yes? Another question?
提问题的请到
Sa,
前面。
sa. Swetasaki.
李外公，我有个问题一直是在困扰着我。我们修习的最后的目的都是要回归守身，对吧？回到灵性世界，跟归师长在一起。但是我呢，就是姑姑对我问我姑姑一个问题，就是说，你回不回去是不是你自己说了算的？姑姑您跟我说，回不回去是归师长说了算。那么我的问题是什么呢？如果你不管你做什么事情，你都想着我要回归，我要回归到归师长那里去，是不是带着那个功利心？那么我这人比较单纯，我就说我就做了就好了，不想着什么回不回归，回归有归师长说了算。那么我的想法是对是不对？是不是我们时时刻刻我都想着我要回归，我要回归？所以我跟我们奉献人有个探讨。他说你不想着不对，我说我就想不起来，我说我就做，他说不行，你得想着。所以我就带着这个问题今天问我姑是切切实实做奉爱服务，说我无时无刻我做什么事情我都想着我就回归什么。我说哪个更好一些？还是可是哪个？
I will summarize her question. So she had a discussion with the other devotees. Her idea is, I just do whatever services I can do. I concentrate on my devotional service. But the other devotee, they emphasize that you should always think, we should go back to Godhead. We do this, we do other things in devotional service. Our final goal is to go back to Godhead. So she wants to know her thought is correct or not.
Yes, your thought is correct.
是的，她的想法是对的。
You're already back to Godhead.
你已经回归了守身。
If you're doing devotional service, then you're back to Godhead.
如果你在做奉献服务，你已经回归了守身。
But devotees are also not wrong.
但是其他奉献者也没错，
Yeah, they're saying, no, you should go back to Godhead.
他们说你应该回归守身。
You just they have to understand, if you do devotional service, you're already back to Godhead.
他们要明白，如果你在做奉献服务，你已经回归了守身。
So just keep doing devotional service.
所以请继续做奉献服务吧。
Doesn't matter if we say for the devotee, it doesn't matter if they live or if they die.
如果是个奉献者，活着也没关系，死了也没关系。
We're serving Krishna now, and when we leave the body, we'll go on and serve Krishna some other place.
我们现在在服务 Krishna，等我们离开躯体之后，就会去另外的一个地方服务 Krishna。
So devotee hasn't any problem.
奉献者没有任何问题。
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna。
Any other question?
还有其他问题吗？请到前面来提问。
Yes. Charuchitra. Mataji.
平白姑真的是奉献者，我要不像怕怕的。今天姑讲到纯粹的奉爱和混合的奉爱，我感觉我自己做的有些奉爱服务，属于混合的。那要是这样的情况下，应该是不能回归灵性世界。但是我这身这是有强烈的愿望想回去，那该怎么办？好的。
Obeisances to Guru Maharaj. Today you are talking about the definition of pure devotional service and mixed devotional service. So I'm reflecting myself. I feel a lot of things I'm doing is not pure, it's mixed bhakti. But still I have a strong desire to go back to Godhead, back home. So what shall I do?
Well, keep going on. Krishna will help you to remove the material desires.
你继续努力，Krishna 会帮助你消除你的物质愿望。
You know, we know that we have some lacking in our devotional service, which is not pure.
我们知道我们在奉献服务之中有一些缺陷，所以我们不纯粹。
So we should try to work on removing them.
所以我们应该想着努力怎么去把它们给消除。
Try to bring up our level of devotion.
然后努力的去提升我们奉爱的层面。
And certainly if we don't do it in this life, then the next life Krishna will arrange.
肯定的是，如果这一世没做到，下一世 Krishna 会安排。
Krishna will put you into the situation where we will become more conscious of our devotional activities.
Krishna 会把我们置于这样的一种情况，我们就会更加的就是觉知到我们的奉爱的服务的活动。
Yeah, Krishna consciousness is the process. We do the activities, and of course, in the beginning, we can't expect they're so pure.
Krishna 知觉是一个程序，在一开始的时候不能指望着就马上纯粹。
But we have to hear about what are the things, what are the bad things in our devotional service.
但是我们必须要聆听，我们知道有什么东西是对奉献服务不利的。
We have to gradually remove them.
我们需要逐渐的去消除它们。
And we have to understand what we need to do to improve our devotion.
我们要明白到我们应该做什么才能改善我们的奉爱。
We can work on it. We work on these things. So as we go on in our life, we work. And we work in this life, and we'll go on in the next life to continue to improve our devotion.
我们要一直坚持不懈的去努力，然后我们哪怕这一世达不到，我们下一世继续在奉爱服务方面继续进步。
But we're thankful that we could be devotees. We're thankful we could come to Krishna consciousness.
我们非常的感激，我们可以成为奉献者。我们非常的感激，我们可以进入 Krishna 知觉。
We hope we can go on and continue and come to the higher level.
我们希望我们能够继续，然后达到更高级的层面。
Okay. All right, so we will stop now because I think Jayapataka Swami will be coming soon for the next class.
我想我们就到此为止吧。加帕达克斯瓦米很快就会来跟我们接着讲课。
Oh, we have prasadam to distribute? Okay. We have some prasadam to distribute for
我们
everyone.
现在派发一些菩萨。
I'll go in 5%. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.